Hi, it's Phil from 15-Minute Guitar Practice. Today we're going to look at some diagonal minor pentatonic stuff. Now, you would have heard people all the time talking about playing within a box shape and feeling like they're a little bit stuck because they're just going up and down, you know, up and down this way, up towards the ceiling and down towards the floor. And in my last video I talked about, you know, going horizontally and playing the minor pentatonic on one string so you get a better sense of the distances and the scale formula. But today we're going to do some diagonal pentatonics. Now, you might not have heard of diagonal pentatonics. I don't think they're really a thing. I just named it a thing. But the reason I love diagonal pentatonics is because they are great for phrasing. And I'll show you what I mean right now. So what we're going to do is take the notes of an A minor pentatonic. Now we'd normally play that as shape 1, starting at the 5th fret. It would be 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7 over the 3 strings. Now we're going to refinger it. The first thing to do, instead of it playing, starting with our first finger, we're going to refinger it so we're actually playing the first note with pinky. Now the second note, which if we were playing in shape 1 would be here, we're going to move that 8th fret note and we're going to move it onto the next string. We move it onto the A string at the 3rd fret. And similarly with this note here, which is the 4th note in the scale. That's 4th note of order, not the interval of a 4th. But that note, which is usually 7th fret on the E, we're going to now move to the 2nd fret on the D. So instead of going, we've got. So each of those first 3 notes is on a separate string. Okay, and then after that we will play the 5th fret on the D and slide up from there to the 7th fret of the D string also. So the whole thing would be. Okay, now the diagonal bit of that is this, the first 3 notes. You can see that they're kind of moving in that direction and each note is on a separate string. Okay, so we've got this phrase. So if you think about this in a kind of 16th note feel, like a maybe a little bit slower, you can kind of go. And that's, you know, just a really nice way to lead into some things. What I like to do is do a little exercise where I play that against a kind of 16th note and intersperse it with you know, one of your favourite blues licks or something else. So you're going. So that's a nice little thing to get you kind of in the groove. The other thing it works really nice over is if you're doing a kind of shuffle thing and you don't put it on the 1, you can do it in a kind of then ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. So that's a diagonal fragment there. We can do another couple of diagonal fragments which we can use in the same way. Another nice one is going from here on the 8th fret of the E string. 8th fret E, 7th fret A, 5th fret D, and then we're going to play the 7th fret on the D string with our 3rd finger and then slide up to the 10th fret. So that whole thing would be. that in with a... And then there's a couple of others I'd like to show you. Feel free to expand on this and play it in different positions and work out some of your own. But I like this one here, which starts on the A root, but on the 4th string. So on the D at the 7th fret, we go there, D, 7th fret, G at the 5th, and B at the 3rd. Okay, so you got... Then we play the 5th fret on the B with our 2nd finger, and then slide up to the 8th fret, also with our 2nd finger. So you've got... So there's that one, and the other one that I'd like to show you just quickly before I finish is this one, starting on the G string at the 7th fret, and then 5th fret on the B, and then 3rd fret on the top E. Then play the 5th fret on the same string, on the E string, with your 3rd finger, and slide up to the 8th with the 3rd finger also. Yeah, or you could do it with 2nd finger or 3rd finger. Or back to the... Okay, so that's some ideas for some diagonal pentatonics that you can use to improve your phrasing. Now, one thing I didn't mention was the pick direction that I use for these. You might have been watching the right hand, but let's just take a little bit more time to look at that. So, going back to the first example, I'm playing down, 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 up, and slide. So, down, 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 up, slide. So there's 1 down, 2 down, 3 down strokes, an up stroke, and then legato slide. So that's what I recommend. It's nice to get. It is a little sweep, but it's not a very technical sweep. But you can see it gives some nice phrasing. So whether you are kind of a blues player or work over shuffle, or if you kind of like jazz, if you like jazz, you probably got all this stuff down already and know way more than I do. But it's just a nice motif you can use rhythmically. You don't have to think about it. It's always going to kind of be cool. Alright, that's all for now. I'll see you next time. Cheers.